How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Software Inc. and welcome back to Nerdrosoft. Things are going pretty well at the moment. We are just above $400 million, which is a ridiculous amount of money. I wasn't really expecting to get to $400 million this quickly, but I am going to try and invest as much of that as possible back into the company, and that's without even touching hardware. So obviously we recently built this new studio and there is still space to expand, which is great, but this place doesn't have the capacity to make consoles. It doesn't have the capacity to make phones. It doesn't have the capacity to make console controllers. So eventually, and admittedly, it's going to be when I get back from my trip, because as I've mentioned before, this episode and previous ones have been pre-recorded. Eventually, we're going to want to buy some new land and build ourselves a hardware factory. But we're not doing that today. Like I said, that's an eventually thing. What I'd like to do today is expand into these spaces up here. I've already been a little bit busy filling out some leaders' offices. We don't have any teams in here just yet. We don't have any employees for it. But what I'm thinking we could do is, as I've mentioned before, start looking at maybe getting ourselves a first-person shooter development team. And then maybe, I don't know, we could get someone working on... When we have an office software team, I guess maybe we do 2 game dev teams. It might not be a terrible idea. I also want to look at some project management, and I think that's where we're going to get started before we start hiring people. So if we look in here, I want to start working on a 2D editor via project management. So 2D editor is going to be the name of the project. The leader of this is going to be Danielle Perez, leader of the 2D team. And we're basically going to have our 2D team doing all of this, except for support. That's going to go to the support team, and we might need more support teams, to be completely honest with you, but we'll figure that out a little bit later on. And what I think I'm going to do with this entire thing is obviously have the 2D team working on this. The prototype software is going to be Canvas 3, but I want 200% development time because I want to make this thing as good as it can possibly be. And if the first one comes out and is absolutely perfect, we might bring the development time down a little bit, but we're also going to have the update duration for this be 36 months, so 3 years, and then every 2 months we're going to put out an update. I think I might change that to every 3 months. For 3 years we're going to be updating Canvas 4 and 5 and so on. We are going to basically order 100,000 physical copies. In fact, you know what, we'll not bother ordering any of those. We'll just set a print job for 400,000 copies, and that'll be all that ever gets printed for these editors. Although in saying that, we will probably do a maximum of 100,000 or something like that eventually, but that'll be the initial print is 400,000 of them. And we're going to set that to okay. And then what we want to do is exactly that same thing for a 3D editor. And we'll go in here. It's going to be the 3D team working on it. We need to change out all the teams. It's also going to have 200% time. It is also going to manage the updates. It's also going to be 36 months. And we're also going to be handling, single IPs, our own licenses, handling marketing, and 400,000 copies. We just need to go through and set up all of the teams so that it's not the 2D team working on this. It is just the 3D team. And then I think they'll just sort of run with this. I'm pretty sure at that point, they'll just start developing it once we have the prototype software in here, which is going to be Vector 2. And something I like about these projects is that immediately they've gone in here and started updating Canvas 3. Now they have only so long before that has to go out, and that's fine, but they'll gradually start working through the bugs, of which there are many. So that's going to be fantastic news. And I would assume, yep, the same thing with the 3D editor as well. They're working on all of the bugs that are going to be present in Vector 2, which is great. So we'll let them work on those. I'm not 100% sure if they're actually going to start designing a new project. They do have their action points coming through here, so we might see soon enough a Canvas 4 and a Vector 3 show up in those projects. But that's something that we can just keep an eye on, and we'll see what ends up happening there. We also owe 8.6 million in taxes, which is great. But before we get to that, before we start dealing with that, let's go ahead and start filling out these spaces, at least one of them, because I do want to get some game development going. I think eventually it's going to go to project management as well. But for now, we are going to come up with a first-person shooter, Hellshock. That's a good name. I like that, Hellshock. Instead of shell-shocked, Hellshock, that's good. I'm going to change that to, instead of Hellshock, Maybe no, you know what? Hell Shock is fine. We're going to go with a lowercase s, so it is kind of like, you know, instead of Shell Shocked, it's Hell Shock. And it fits the King Doom theme, right? We did sort of the action adventure game with the King Doom franchise. We're kind of keeping in that theme and in that world with maybe Hell Shock's a spin-off or something like that. It's more of it's a Call of Duty-esque spin-off of the King. So it's like, it's Call of Duty, but it's in the world of Doom, basically. No, it's not, because King Doom was a medieval Doom clone. Oh, what would, oh man, I don't know what this, it doesn't matter. It doesn't, I'm getting over, I'm thinking way too hard about this. Oh, that's, yeah. Okay. In terms of the framework for this, we'll call this the, I don't know, To Hell and Back is what we'll go for the engine name on this. That'll be fine. We'll go for To Hell and Back. Source control is going to be the development server. It is going to have multiplayer, so it's going to be running on the production server. It is going to have 3D graphics. It is going to have cutscenes. It is going to have facial animations. It is going to have, I think it needs an advanced HUD. I think that's fine. In terms of audio, we're going to do recorded dialogue. I'm just making this based on what I think it should have, right? So it's not going to be an MMO. It is going to have physics. It's going to have a customizable character. And that seems like everything you'd need for a first-person shooter, right? You can customize your character. The dialogue and branching story is not a thing. Mod support's a non-issue at the moment. Physics is fine. Open world, no. Post-processing, I mean, that will make it look nice. So I feel like we should throw it in there. An advanced HUD, obviously. Shadows are kind of a must-have. So shadows and facial animations, cutscenes, yes. That seems good. It's a lot of wasted interest, but it's what we're going for. And that's completely fine. So it's going to be Hell Shock. It's an original IP. I'm very excited about this. It's going to be $69. And then we'll see what we're putting this on. So in terms of the releases and whatnot, we can go with Canvas 3. We can go with... Ooh... I don't like the Vector 2 is down there in terms of its tech level. I don't love that. That is going to have our 3D graphics be pretty rough. Maybe we just, I think we're going to go with Render Frames 4. I kind of want the tech level to be as high as possible. I don't like that we have to sort of license that, but that's okay. And then 2006 tech levels for this. That's not great, but you know what? We're going to go for it. It's fine. We're expecting a lot of money from this franchise, so let's assume that we'll have that money. Now, we have a lot of operating systems this can go on to. We have a computer operating system here with 3 million, almost 2.8 million users. I would like to put this on phones and consoles as well, but we're going to start with the one operating system so that we don't have the development time take way too long. And then if we look at the market right now, gameplay and graphics are kind of the big thing, so we'll apply that, which will hopefully keep people happy. And I guess at this point, we need to come up with a team that can do this. So it recommends, what, 8 designers, 11 programmers, and 6 artists? That's a lot. That is definitely a lot. So that's 25 people is what it's recommending. I'm pretty sure we can get that. I'm pretty sure we can manage that. We're going to take all of the teams off of this for the time being, and we'll push it into development even with no one working on it. So we need 25 desks in this space. That's going to be slightly tricky, but I'm pretty sure I can figure it out. We can get one here. We can get one here. And then, I mean, we can sort of do this. And yeah, I don't like that they're sort of floating away from the wall, but that's honestly probably fair enough. I don't think it's the end of the world. So that's 4. Okay, you know what? I think 20 desks should be fine. I'm not going to get 25 in here, and that's okay. I think 20 will do. I think 20 will do just fine. So let's find ourselves a decent team leader for this. Secondary role is going to be, I'm going to say artist, I think, for this one. And we're going to not bother with compatibility. We are looking for HR, and we are looking for automation this time. So we'll begin looking and see what we've got. We've got both right there. That's really bad compatibility with that core team though. What about you? You can do multitasking as well, which I think is going to be a really good thing. You're a dramatic extrovert, which is fair enough. You know what? We'll bring you in. We don't have a team to put you on right now, so that's a little bit unfortunate. Let me just minimize that for us. Wait, can I not? Do I have to assign you to a team right now? Can I just... Wait, no, we can do new team. Fantastic. That's good. That's what I'm looking for. So we'll just do the FPS games team, I guess is what we'll go for. And we'll hire you right there. We can now go to the FPS games. We can go to employees. We can go to you and change your role out for team leader, and secondary, I think, was artist. We'll just do secondary on all of those, and that should be completely fine. Then looking at HR management, in fact, looking at you, it was what? 8 designers, 11 programmers, 6 artists. I don't like that it recommends all of those, but that's fine. We have room for 20. So if we did 11 and 8, that leaves us room for 1 artist. If we did 8 and 8, that gives us room for, what is that, 4 artists? So 8 and 8, 16 plus 4 artists. I think that's how we're going to do it. So 8 designers, 8 programmers, 4 artists. What does this thing need? It needs systems, 3D, audio, 2D, and network. That's a lot. That's going to be a lot, but you know what? We'll figure it out. So this guy's going to be handling all of this. Role selection's fine. Educate them, do 4 of them at a time. That's all right. Let me pause. And it was 8, 8, and 4. Specializations are going to be, so it was system, 2D, 3D, audio, and network. And that should be all right. Traits are okay. And then salaries are going to be high. And that should be all right. If we let things run, we should see the FPS games team jump up to 21 people, which it absolutely has. We can assign this now to the FPS games team and hope that that goes pretty well. And we can assign the FPS games team to this room as well. So that'll hopefully keep things good. We can see, oh, wait a minute. We need to assign our team leader to this space as well. So let's just get that done nice and quickly. And that should keep everything pretty good. So that will be, oh, yeah, I figured this would happen. Yep. So it's the new spaces that haven't met the fire inspection. That's great. I'm gonna be routinely forgetting about that. I'm absolutely every single time I'm gonna end up forgetting to sort these rooms out properly. And it's fine. It's okay. We'll manage. We've got those guys in there. We're gonna need some sprinklers as well. So we'll do one, I guess, middle of the room there. We'll do one here. We'll do one here. That should keep us good. That should keep everybody happy. We'll go ahead and turn off that little overlay and let's see how things go for Hellshock. You want a pay rise? That's fine. We can absolutely do that for you. We're still doing pretty good money. Canvas 3, 2 million. Vector 2, unfortunately, disappointing. And we are actually going to be, well, we're queued to design Canvas 4, which is great. That's what we're looking for. And we should be queued. And we are designing, actually, Vector 3. Which is amazing news. Wait a minute. Vector 2 has an update that's being worked on by the 2D team. Oh, the 2D team's still set to do updates. Let's get that switched over to the 3D team right there. So that's, we don't have that overlap going on. And I think we do have now the 3D team working on everything for that. So that's great. That's absolutely perfect. So those guys are going to be quite busy, especially given that they're also working on doors. I'm a little disappointed by how badly Nerdrosoft Suite is going right now. So I'm tempted to assign, I'm going to assign my core team to Nerdrosoft Suite and see if we can speed that up a little bit, because the art is really holding us back in there. And that is just proving to be a pretty major problem. Oh, the support team just lost its leader and is no longer under HR management. And neither is my accounting team. We still need to look into that one, but you know what? Let's get ourselves a new team leader. We don't need to automate anything there, but I do think multitasking would be really good for the support team. So we'll filter by compatibility for, well, the support team, of course. We'll go ahead and begin looking, and we have someone that's great. We can do HR, we can do multitasking. Shannon Hicks, welcome to my support team. And let's see here. Let me get you set up properly so that you are, in fact, going to be doing what I want you to do. So we'll have that as secondary. That's perfectly fine. I'm almost tempted to say that the support team, let's have a look here. HR management, service, up to 15 of them. Is this the first time the support team's actually been under HR management? It definitely might be. There are what, 16 desks in there, and there should be a support team leader office down there. So if we go back in and look at the HR management, we can do 16 service employees. Specializations are going to be support and handle their wages, handle their complaints. Role selection is going to be, I'm gonna say best then secondary. And I just want to have a look and see if it actually does change them up. I don't know if it will. There we go. So some of them can do some design, but the support team realistically is just going to be doing service. And I think maybe we go so far as saying that you're just going to be, it's going to be the role that you're hired for, I think reasonably. We don't really need them doing design at this point. That's not really their job in here. So we'll have that be the case. And then my marketing team, can I do the same thing? You guys are already doing best role, which is fair enough. Employees, yeah, you're all just service, which is great. So I guess that's fine. I guess that's how we'll do it. We have expanded the support team a little bit. Got a new leader in there that'll hopefully keep them good, hopefully keep them happy. And Nerdrosoft Suite, with the core team working on it, is actually looking like it might get done. So let's have a look at the calendar. Do we have any office software coming out this year? We don't. I mean, this thing is very nearly done. Let's aim for September. So the end of Q3 2010 for, actually, you know what? We'll go for December. We'll give it a little bit more time. So December 2010. That's not a lot of time for marketing. I think that's what we'll do though. December 2010, we can start marketing this. I am going to need another marketing team, I think. My marketing team's getting a bit overwhelmed, but we'll give it a shot. We'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll go well. Nerdrosoft Play, 16.8 million active users. Still a few bugs on it. We're probably going to want to, like I've said before, get working on a new version of that at some point, but I'm not really in any major rush to do that. I think it's doing all right. Although I did, yeah, companies are canceling their deals with me, and I'm curious to see why. So we currently have, let's see. I don't know if we can see the stats of all the other platforms. So when did we come out? What's the most recent one? Oh, we're down there a little bit. Yeah, we need to do a new one of these. We definitely need to do a new one of these. We have the fewest companies signed as well. We have the best cut, but I guess, you know what? We'll start working on a new one. And I think we're just going to go for Play. Oh, do I want to call it just Play? I don't know that I do. I don't know that that's a great name. I kind of want it to have everything though. So file management, recommendation system, platforms, library management, review system, social features, voice chat. What is Delta patching? Turns out you only need to update the things that have changed. Nice. Cloud syncing, and we need tech level 2010. Interesting. Well, we're not going to be doing that, but we can do all of this, and I think that's fine. Server is going to be production. Source control is going to be the development server. And I don't, let's come up. Have we got any good names? Nerdrosoft, I mean, it is just recommending Nerdrosoft Play 2. So I guess, yeah, we'll go for Nerdrosoft Play 2. That's fine. The design teams on this, it recommends system, 2D, and networking. That sounds like my core team, to be quite honest. This might be a terrible idea just to give it to the core team, because I think they're working on two things right now. One of them is admittedly the office software, so I think we'll actually be okay there. And then the lead designer on this, can I have it be me? Did I do the original one? Who did the original one? I don't even know if the original developer's still here. So you know what? We'll give it to me. We'll absolutely give it to me. To be fair, I did some pretty successful stuff. I've made software that has made us 35, 25, and 41 million. So you know what? We'll have me lead this up and it'll be okay. We don't even need that many people for this. So we'll start developing it. That'll be all right. We'll push that out the door as soon as it's ready to go. Doesn't really need to be a priority right now though, so we'll make it a bit of a lower one. And once again, we've been nominated for and got the Best Employer Award. And most profitable product goes to, you know what? Canvas 3 got second place. I will absolutely take it. I'm looking to fill out this shelf. That's what I'm looking to do. That's 2010 now. That's pretty good. 2 more. If we can do 2 more years, we might get another platinum one. I've got no idea, but it's what we're going to be going for. We'll see if it works out. We'll see if it doesn't. I'm hoping to get another one. That's my goal. I'm also thinking I should probably change when my employees go on vacation, right? Because right now they're all going on vacation from like July to August, but it's a 2-month range. I almost wonder if it would just be worth saying that you can go on vacation whenever you want. So that they don't all take vacation days at the same time. At the same time, I could just say that from like June, July, August are the vacation months, and then we just aim to never release things in those months. But I'm pretty sure, let's have a quick look. So Longsword came out in October. Yeah, so July was wave 8. July was wave 6. Longsword was June. So basically I can't control when the automated stuff comes out. So I think we're just going to say year-round vacations, and hopefully that means that people will, you know, spread the vacations out. We're never going to have like 50 something people going on vacation all at once. Hopefully that's the goal. That is definitely the goal. Now, Nerdrosoft Suite is taking its sweet time to play on words there. It's taking its sweet time getting anything good done here. We're at 99% on the art. We still have a few months to go before it goes anywhere, so not really the end of the world. 56 employees went on vacation this time. I don't love that. I don't love that. Where's my core team? Apparently, oh no, they were at a meeting. That's fine. As long as the entire core team hasn't gone on vacation, we're doing all right. The 2D team has a few people around as well, so hopefully, it's not even the 2D team I'm looking for. It's the office team. There's a handful of people in the office team. That's all right, I guess. Oh, would you look at the amount of hosting deals that we have to accept right here? Let's absolutely bring all of you in. That's not bad. Are my servers doing okay? Oh yeah, my server's completely fine. That's good. That's kind of great. My hosting deals last month were making me 52,000. I don't expect that they're going to make all that much money in general. They typically don't, but I'm definitely curious to see how it goes. So my deals now are 71,000. So basically, if I could host a bunch of stuff for all of the companies and then just have like one employee and one maintenance guy and a tiny building, we could potentially do some good stuff there. There's definitely a chance that we could do some good stuff there. Now, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and take the core team off of the Suite project, and let's just keep them working on Play 2. Hellshock is kind of taking forever. The FPS games team is taking forever to really do anything, and I'm a little worried about that. I don't want it to take forever to release. I mean, it did say something like, I think it was estimated 3 years, so it could end up being like 2013 before that thing goes out. But I'm hoping that we're going to see this pick up a little bit. I'm hoping these guys can get trained up and that's all going to work out for us. I'm hoping that Doors ends up, you know, working out as well. I think we have just sort of reached the point of the game where things just take longer to do because you're putting more features into them, and it's, you know, that's just the way it is, right? You're trying to make something complicated, complex, appealing, interesting, new, and fresh, and, you know, you kind of end up with a situation like this, which is all right. We've had another company cancel their deal with me. Suite goes out today. That's fine. How many companies do I still have signed? 7? That's a little bit miserable, is what that is. I am realizing, oh, these guys have undermined me. They're down to 7%. You know what? I'm going to go down to 6% then. I'm not interested in taking a huge cut out of everybody's profits, so that's completely fine. Now, Nerdrosoft Suite, let's go ahead and release you. I have an unreleased press release for this project. Release it, that's fine. And then release the Suite. Is it any good? They don't know who we are? Whoa. What do you mean without marketing materials? That's rough. That was rough. You know what? Marketing team, 50,000 for this one. We're going to give you guys a lot of money to play with on marketing suites. We'll make it a top priority. Canvas is going to come down to like a 6. And Vector, honestly, it's doing pretty bad. I'm just going to end marketing for Vector and that'll be all right. So is it good or bad? It's good. It's ordinary. Marketing is sparse. It needs to make a bit of money before it makes a profit. That's all right. Hopefully we can figure that out. I'm also definitely thinking that my marketing team is being overworked. Can I see how many tasks they have? 14. They have 14 tasks right now. They're doing all of the, well, they're doing this, but then they have the project management tasks, right? So if I go and look at audio tools and I look at you, My marketing team are still marketing 6, 7, and 8 in there, which is fair enough. Antivirus, they're doing 3, 5, and 6, which is again fair enough. So that's a lot of projects. The 2D editors, they are now doing press releases and hyping for Canvas 4, which comes out next month, actually. That's worrying that I have 200% development time on that and it's coming out next month. And then Vector 3, they're doing a bit of press release and stuff for, wait, is it next month? So you're 2013. It might have been next phase that I was looking at. Yeah, Canvas 4's next phase is next month. It's going for 2012. So yeah, my marketing team is exceptionally busy to the point that I think we want another one. I think it's only fair that we do get another marketing team. Now we have how many people on this one? We have 12. We could fill this space with a whole bunch of desks and get ourselves another marketing team in here. And I might do that and then have this be sort of the automated marketing team. So this is the one that does all of our projects, whereas the other one is doing everything that I want them to do. I think that's how this can go. And you know, I think this is going to be a pretty solid layout for this new marketing team, which is just called marketing team projects. Essentially, that's how we're going to set them aside as the team that does all of the, well, the projects. So we have a leader for that team, which is great. We've got someone called Mary or Meryl. I'm going to call you Mary from now on. That's fine. Mary Maxwell. We're going to get you set up though. So same things as per usual. Role selection is going to be hired for. We're going to pause while we do this so you don't start hiring people right off the bat though. We'll educate maybe 4 at a time and that'll be all right. How many chairs do we have in here? We have 15, which is going to be great. So we want 15 employees right here. You guys are going to be specializing in marketing. Your traits don't really matter. Your salary is going to be high. Although the traits, I mean, what can we do here? Increase skill and acquire specializations faster. Less affected by social needs. What can we do? Can't stand ugly environments. No one takes the elevator with them. We don't want that. We don't want you to break your computer. We don't want you to walk slower. We are probably fine with the rest. That I think is all right. Great at developing, works great at one task, isn't emotionally affected by anything, never calls in sick, not affected by compatibility, and quicker to make friends and friendships never fade. We'll go for that, I guess, as our check and see how we can do on that. We'll see if we start hiring anybody. So 15 people is going to be great if we can do it. We're up to 5 of them, which I guess is better than none. I'm expecting it's going to take a while for that team to fill out. I'm probably being a little bit too picky on who actually comes into that team. But you know what? We'll see what happens. What have we got here? Creativity's been narrowed down. That's great. Okay. I'm pretty pleased with that. We'll go ahead and just check everything else. An employee is stressed out. Someone on the core team was stressed out. That'll be all right. They'll figure it out. I'm pretty sure. It might take a minute, but the core team's going to be all right. Is kind of what I'm thinking. Nerdrosoft Suite, by the way, it didn't do so good. Didn't really do so good is what it did there. Not sure what to make of that. My office team might just be terrible. It's definitely a possibility that they are just objectively useless, but we'll see what happens. What can we do here? We'll use vector. You know what? We're just going to use everything to make this as good as it can possibly be. Whatever it is we need to do. And you know what? Yeah. Office team, go nuts on updating Nerdrosoft Suites. Hopefully, I mean, Play 2 is coming along quite nicely, which is great. We have these guys coming in here. That team's up to 9 people. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to swap out all of the marketing on my projects to be the marketing team for the projects. That way I can have the primary marketing team basically stuck doing whatever I want them doing. 10 companies have requested access to my digital distribution platform. Interesting that they all seem to go away for a while and then they all come back. I really wish they'd stop doing that, but it's interesting that they keep doing that. Now, I am thinking as well, it might not be a bad idea. Now that my 2D and 3D teams are working on some editor projects, I'm going to take those teams off of the operating system because we do occasionally get people on those teams complaining about being stressed. I don't know if it's a good idea to sort of just have my core team be the primary, the only team working on it now, but I'm willing to give it a shot. we might end up needing to expand the core team. And if it comes down to it, I think what we'll end up doing is actually expanding upwards. I redid the roof on this place because I specifically wanted this to be a tile that I could just delete. Because if I do that, what I can now do is just copy this entire floor, at least this section of the building, and then basically just do, that's not the button I was looking for. Then I can basically just do, well, this, so something like that, and I get myself a new floor. I'm not going to do that right now because I don't really think we need to do that yet, but that's why I redid the roof, and I think it looks pretty cool. I was thinking of putting some holes in this part as well, but I decided against it for the time being, just because it felt a little bit, I don't know, it felt a little bit extra to be completely honest. I don't know if it was something that was worth doing. Now, Nerdrosoft Suite has apparently failed miserably. It does have decent marketing. Let's try and port it to anything and everything. Let's just do something like this for good old Nerdrosoft Suite. We'll try and get it everywhere. Interestingly, Longsword 6 also not really much of a profit there. That's a little bit more concerning. I'm not gonna lie. That's definitely something that's got me a little bit concerned. Net units sold was only 14,000. Longsword 5 did 28 million by comparison, 750,000. So, oh, Longsword 6 wasn't actually as good. You know what? I think we're going to slow down development on this a little bit. I think we're going to crank you up to about 100. Let's do 200% development time on Longsword going forward and see how that goes. Do we need to port it to anything? That's probably a great question. Yeah, there's a few things that we might want to port this to. You and you and you and you and just all of these guys, really, I think is what we'll go for. It is going to take a while. I'm not necessarily going to stick to just having my core team doing all these porting jobs, but a little bit of extra money from these guys, definitely not going to hurt. And then Wave 8 as well. Does it need ported to anything? It certainly does. Canvas 3, does it need ported to anything? I'm assuming it sort of does. So yeah, we'll get those ports going. I really don't want my core team doing all of them. So what I think we'll do is have a little look here. So Nerdrosoft Suite is my office team. We'll take that off the core team. We'll give that to the office team. Longsword is my antivirus team. Vector is my 3D team. And then Wave is the audio team, which is these guys right here. And then Canvas is, of course, the 2D team. So we'll have each team sort of handle porting its own projects over to a bunch of new systems. Probably going to take forever to do it, especially with them being quite low priority, which might be reason enough to crank those priorities a little bit and just see if we can get those done sooner than later. Really not expecting it to be a quick process for any of them, but it might get us a few more sales, and that's sort of what we're looking for. I'm also really hoping we can get Play 2 out the door sooner than later, but again, we'll sort of see what happens there. We've been nominated for Best Employer again, and we absolutely got it. Most profitable product was not me, which is fair enough. Wave 8 doing okay there. That's good. That's definitely good. I've also realized what I can do when we fill out these shelves here. We have this floor upstairs, so we can do 2 stories of awards. That's going to be exciting. We have this though. So next year, if we get Best Employer again, we might get another platinum one, which would be kind of fantastic. I'm not going to lie. that'd be kind of great. Nerdrosoft Play though, it's now in iteration 4. I want to see how quickly. Oh yeah, they're working on that pretty quick. I think we'll just let them sort of go with it. I don't think we need to rush them. I think we can let it go. Play currently has 21.6 million active users. So yeah, getting a new one out there, especially since this one is what I think it came out in like 97. So it's a few years old. I definitely think a new one is going to be worthwhile. I'm also thinking that Nerdrosoft Suite, we can stop marketing that. It was a horrible, horrific failure of an office software. I can't believe that. It just failed miserably. I don't understand what happened to it. I guess I didn't look at the event calendar for this year though. That's a really good point. So Nerdrosoft Suite, it was office software in December 2010. Looking at all releases. And then let's see. Yeah, we had some office software in May, which I mean, it did sell. It didn't sell that much, but it did definitely sell. So, I mean, maybe that had something to do with it. Maybe their marketing was better. It was probably their marketing, to be honest, because that was the complaints, right? No one knew who Nerdrosoft was in the office software space. So maybe we just needed to market it better. Now, in other news, Wave 9 has finally gone out the door. It is great. It is inspiring. The last one was good and inspiring. And Wave 8 is up there as my third most profitable piece of software. Wave 7 actually is still making money, actually, which is really concerning. I don't know how I feel about that. Wave 7 is getting very, very close to being the most profitable thing this company has ever done. However, this is interesting. This is good. So Wave 8 was only good and inspiring. This one is now great and inspiring. And the last one that was great and inspiring is now, you know, up there as the second most profitable thing the company's ever done. So Wave 9 could be absolutely amazing, which is what I'm hoping for. I'm definitely hoping for some good things there. It's also looking like 2012 is going to be a stacked year for the company. We have Longsword 7, we have Canvas 4, we have Vector 3 in February 2013. I suspect that'll get pulled back into November, December 2012. So we can probably expect some good things there. We're also going to want to look at Wave 9 and get that ported over as quickly as we possibly can. There are a few new operating systems that it can go to, including Doors, which is very exciting. Definitely keen to do that. But I'll tell you what, we'll just go for these guys for the time being, just to make sure. I mean, we are still porting Wave 8. I don't love the fact that we have the audio team now working both of those ports at the same time, but it'll be fine. What's this up here? A product has run out of stock and you're losing. Oh, yeah, I might have. First off, 6.2 million. Start printing this guy. Give me 250,000 copies in stock at any one time. So maximum 250,000 right about there. We'll get that going. Let me just make sure that we're porting or printing everything. Are we printing Suite? I mean, it's done terribly, so I don't imagine we kind of need to, but might not be a terrible idea. Manufacturing, let's see. Suite is down here, maximum 100,000. That's depressing. I don't know. How many did it sell? It's 5,000. Okay, well, you know what? That's fine. Wave 9, 5.2 million right there. That's kind of fantastic in terms of its numbers. We're back. We're absolutely back. We did less than 1 million in September, 7.3 million there. And I mean, sales was $11 million, which is kind of wild. Who's unhappy with their job? The 3D team? Is the 3D team not being HR managed? You guys are supposed to be dealing with the complaints. Yeah, you can continue dealing with those complaints. That is not my problem. Let me have a look here. So where did my money come from? How did we just turn? So the past month was 6 million and then just a bit of trickling from everything else. What is this one? That's Longsword 6. Interesting. Okay. Well, that 6 million is definitely going to be nice. Hopefully we can get that ported to absolutely everything else sooner than later. Doors is, I mean, Doors is going to be done. Do we want to go for 2012 for Doors? I guess we probably should, right? Let me just double check something. So King Doom 6 was, I mean, it was 9 years ago. No, it was 8 years ago. It was almost 9 years ago. It's getting there. So if we're doing the 15-year plan, it's 20. I've talked about this in the last episode, I'm pretty sure. I think we want to start development of King Doom, the reboot, in 2015. I think that's what we said, especially given how long Hellshock is taking to design. So we might want to go sooner. We might want to do 2014 for King Doom reboot development, but we'll see. We have another couple of years and that'll be all right. I think for Doors, at this point, we need to have a look at the calendar. And I don't think it's going to be a 2012 release. I just don't. I don't think 2012, we could have it, well, maybe December 2012, we give it a full year of marketing. Or we give it a year and a couple of months. We have a console operating system there, console and phone operating systems there. We don't have any new computer operating systems scheduled to release either 2012 or 2013. Maybe we say March of 2013. for the release on doors. I think that's what we go for. So I think we say market this thing. I think we say March. I think we say 2013. And then maybe that's the year. Maybe we spend 5 years working on the new King Doom. It'd be 10 years since we released the last one, and then we spend 5 years making the new one. That might be the way to go. But either way, March 2013 for doors. We're gonna lock it in. We're going to start working on press for the operating system as well, which is going to be very exciting. And we're not going to send out a press build yet. I don't think there's any points because it's not done yet. It's not ready to go. We'll just get some hype going. We'll get some press releases going. We'll make those sort of top priorities for the marketing team. And we'll just see how it goes. There's not going to be anyone interested in following doors right now either. No one knows who we are in that space. But that's honestly okay. I'm okay with that. It's not the end of the world. The marketing team will do their thing over the course of the next year and 3 months. And hopefully by then, everybody is going to know all about doors and what Nerdrosoft is up to. And I mean, hopefully it sells, right? Because it's going to be expensive. I would imagine it's going to be very expensive. A lot of potential consumers. It's just going to be, I wish it told me how much it costs to make already. It'd be kind of cool to, midway through development, get an idea of how much something actually costs. But anyway, we'll get that out there. We have 12 followers. That's interesting. We'll go ahead and just sort of keep these guys working on the press releases there, I guess. I don't know. It's it's definitely taken a little while to get there, but it's fine. So last month, Wave 9 did $8.8 million. That might be the highest profit we've ever seen in a single month from a single piece of software. We're above $500 million now, just to be clear, which is kind of ridiculous. I wasn't really expecting this thing to be as popular as it is. I'm not complaining about it. I just really wasn't expecting it. And I also want to see here, if we look at quarterly... Let's see, turn all of these guys off. Let's see if I can just have a look at my quarterly stats here. So that's from 1980. Is that that's my salaries. I want to have a look at my balance. So that's from 1980. Can I go from 1980 to today? Look at that. Look at that. I can also break it down monthly. I can do it yearly. That's pretty cool. What else can we do here? So deals, staff, contracts, sales. Interesting. So my sales last year, so my highest year was 108 million in 2004. Before that, it was 83 million in 1991. We've done, 27 million in 2012, and we're only into March now. So that's not bad. If we look at it monthly, it looks like 13.8 million in October 2004. We just did 14.5 in February and 14.5 in November last year as well. So we're doing all right. We're definitely up there with some of our stats, which is pretty cool. Very, very happy about that. And I think that's probably a good place to go ahead and leave things for today. Nerdrosoft Play Play 2 is being worked on at the moment. Doors is very close to moving into beta. I have put the 3D team on it because the 3D aspect of the development is what was lacking a little bit. So we'll hopefully have this done in no time at all. We've got a bunch of stuff scheduled for this year. We've got Longsword 7 coming out next month, which we might see a release here. There's definitely a chance. We saved some money. There we go. I have unsupported server processes. That's slightly concerning. Can I move you onto the production server? And can I make sure that Longsword 8 actually does get on the production server? There we go. So that's gone out the door, which is great. What are they looking at for this one? August 2014, so 2 years down the line, the next one will come out. That's all right. We've got Canvas 4 this year. We've got Vector 3 next year. We have Wave 10 in September 2014. And I guess let's take a look and see how is Longsword 7 doing. It is great. It's ordinary. It doesn't need to make much money. It is being marketed. So we should see some money come in off of that, which is great news. And then looking at wave 9, it dropped down. Oh no, it did more. It did 8.9. Oh, it's going to become the most successful thing we've ever put out, isn't it? It's going to become the most successful thing that we've ever put out, and I'm going to hate it for it, which is going to be really annoying. But you know what? It's totally fine. I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to leave it there for today. This is the last thing I'm recording before I go on vacation. I don't know if this is going to be the last video that goes out that's pre-recorded. I'm on vacation from the 11th of March to the 22nd of March, 2024. I know that when I get back, there's going to be no videos on the 23rd and 24th because my travel day is like 14 hours. It's 3 separate flights. I don't get home until super late. So the 23rd is going to be chilling, unpacking, and sort of getting back into work. I'm going to be recording some stuff in those days, but I'm going to be dealing with all the comments from the last 2 weeks of videos. So, yeah, there'll be like 2 days with no videos, but that's fine. Anyway, we've made some pretty good progress. Nerdrosoft is now the 2nd most valuable company. I don't know what these guys, they have 102 products. These guys have just been buying companies left and right. They've absolutely been buying companies left and right. Look at this. So they did create this, which admittedly, since last May has done $90 million. They've got 40 million in add-ons for this RPG, which is wild. 233,000 there. It's great and inspiring. This company is ridiculous. 102 products. That's a lot, but we've done $500 million with 28 products. I'm kind of here for it. That's pretty cool. I'm very pleased with that. Anyway, we are going to leave it there for today. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. And as always, I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.